Good afternoon, fans. This is your girl from Mel's Mat Chat, and this is episode 286 of the podcast. How is everybody doing today? Hope everybody's well. It is hot here in New York. It's not the Big Apple, it's the Baked Apple. When it gets this hot, it's called the Baked Apple. Hopefully, everybody's keeping cool. Thankfully, tomorrow on Saturday, it's supposed to be 60 degrees and raining. I'll take it all day as long as it's not fucking snow. Um, Now, I have my window open, so you're gonna just have to deal with it. I'm gonna talk a little louder so you can hear me. I gotta keep it open because it's hot in my apartment and I'm felting. So, not too big of a week. We're gonna be getting ready for the draft. I'm hearing it's gonna be on May 8th. If that's the case, I will be taking notes and I will be, listening and, I will be, in the know because I'm going to be on vacation and I'm not going to stop my vacation because of a draft. I'm sorry. I will be covering everything on it for the episode before I go away. And then when I get back, I'll give you all the dirt, everything, and what should we do from the reset, the whole situation. We don't even know when the draft is going to be implemented after we have the draft. So we're just on a need to know basis right now. We have a couple of hot button topics about what we covered with the Vicky Guerrero situation. Um, these are accusations. These are fucking accusations to the point that we don't know what's going on. But as I told you, you could go back and go check it out. There's a couple of things that just don't add up, and I don't understand if she's claiming these things. She should have done everything her humanly possible, and it should have been done in a timely manner. That's the red flags, and I'm going to. We are going just to wait and see. Right now, they're allegations, and if he is found guilty, I have no problems telling that I was wrong. But right now, they're allegations, and she better have fucking receipts stocked up to the moon, and that's all I'm getting at. We have Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon is now has to adhere to a contract now. He's a contract employee. He is an employee, not an owner anymore. So that means he's got to have like a code of conduct. No pun intended with Ring of Honor. You can catch that on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. My reviews on that. But a bunch, little plug there. Um, there is a code of conduct now. So if women are going to come out with this, and they're going to, because this is not the last of it, that might be the final nail to put through his coffin. Let's call Mark and get it over with. The Undertaker. I call him Mark because he's now Mark Calloway. He's no longer the Undertaker. He is retired, and so that is for that. We have backlashes coming up, which I will be covering. Don't worry. Even though I'm going away on the 7th, I'm still able to cover backlash, and that will be taken care of. Am I liking how this whole thing is starting to play out with the stuff that's going on with Cody Rhodes and the whole nine and whatnot? No, I don't like it. But because of his torn pec, it's like more adversity. You could still use the pec. You could still use everything else that's going to go on with Brock Lesnar and more. Also, we were told this morning not this morning, we were told Wednesday morning, not Wednesday, Thursday morning, I'm sorry. Thursday morning that Vince McMahon is not going to be involved in the draft. I'm going to tell you everything why that's going to be bullshit. Because let me tell you something. He is going to want to be in the thick of things. If he isn't involved in it, I will be the first one to say I was wrong. Okay? But it's all bullshit. It's all fucking bullshit. So just let's get this on right now. It is bullshit. So that is like the topics of what's going on in the world of professional wrestling. as I'm going through each run through, I'm going to give you my thoughts on the spot and what should happen and whatnot. It's been a lot easier for me to do that before taking notes, because basically it's going to trigger what I have to want to say after each match, or about a person or anything like that. It's just much easier for me that way. So, I'm trying to get some sort of better way of delivering these run throughs for you. But I can't do these run-throughs without letting people know about Harry's, harrys.com. Visit their website for all your shaving and toiletry essentials. Please do me a favor, go check out the people over at Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com and get all your beard essentials. If you're dying of thirst and you want to murder your thirst, please go check out the people at Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com and get your water, sparkling water, flavored sparkling water, and now iced tea. So go check them out at liquiddeath.com. Now, Death Wish Coffee has announced a new flavor, which this mama is getting. It's vanilla. It's vicious vanilla. Like, I put that out there. I said, I don't like blueberry coffee, but I love vanilla. That should have been a staple from jump. I put it in. I kept pestering them about it, and now it's came into fruition. So it's going to be coming out in the summer, and I can't wait. I cannot wait to be drinking it early in the morning, having it fucking French vanilla. And when it gets colder, I can put the French vanilla with the pumpkin spice, pumpkin pie in a fucking cup, and it's a lot less calories to boot. So they've come out with that. They also have gingerbread. I just got gingerbread, which I'm going to try in a couple mornings. I also, they have blueberry vanilla. They have this special limited edition. It's like a chocolate mint Irish coffee. I wish they come in K-Cup because I would have gotten a box. They have espresso. They have plenty of coffee varieties. So go check them out on deathwishcoffee.com. Now, I've been trying to get everything. But House of Glory has, I think, 2 events coming up. I think it's Final Hour and Resurgence. So you're going to get all your information about the 2 events on hogwrestling.net, and you can also get your tickets there if you can make it. And I'm trying to find out if it's going to be on Fight TV. If so, I will be talking about it on the show. All right. Programming notes. For Backlash, it's going to be Bing Bang Boom. I'm going to be on there 3 times. 3 times. 3 times on Saturday. 2 times on Saturday, and then no, wait a minute. I am right. 3 times on Saturday. You're going to have the Ring of Honor, which I'm going to probably possibly put on the run through of that week, or I may put that immediately, like that Thursday. I may go and record, and it will be up like legitimately that night, because Saturday I'm going to have preview and predictions, and then I got to do the review legitimately right after Backlash. So I got to get up at least 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I got to get to the airport. I'm going to be on a plane at like 9:30 in the morning going to Vegas. So I'm going to keep on making you abreast of all the situations. All right. Let's get down to AEW's Rampage and Battle of the Belts. We had Rampage and Battle of the Belts this past Friday, and it was from the Ryan Center in Kingston, Rhode Island. Little truth be told, I have family up there. My cousins, my uncle Richard, and my aunt, I believe it's Rita. I think my Aunt Rita. It's my grandmother's, my mother's brother and sister-in-law, which they have passed on. Well, that generation has passed on. So now it's my aunts and uncles, my father, and I have a set of grandparents that are still living. So I'm blessed with that. In fact, I believe both my grandparents, siblings, are all dead. I mean, that is crazy. That is fucking nuts. Yeah, I guess that we are the strongs are strong in my family, or just in those two people. With they got together and they made my dad, and then my dad made me, and I made my son. We're all gonna live to like 200, I guarantee it. Which I'm not thrilled out. 200. Come on, help a sister out here. I want to go home. I want to go to my maker here. We start off with the FTW Championship match. Hook versus All Ego Ethan Page. FTW rules: falls count anywhere, anything goes. Ethan Page booted Hook as Hook was making his entrance. They began to brawl around the ring, with Hook headbutting Page. Hook followed Ethan Page up the arena steps, fighting each other among the fans. Hook clubbed Page with crossface strikes. Ethan Page swung a steel pipe at Hook, but Hook countered by pummeling Page with a metal garbage can. Hook hit a T-bone suplex on Page on the arena floor. Page attempted the Ego's Edge on a table, but Hook escaped and countered with a lariat. Ethan Page power slammed Hook through the timekeeper's table. Matt Hardy and Isaiah Cassidy watched on the monitor backstage. Hook blasted Page with a twist of fate on the steel chair for a near fall. Page smacked Hook with a wicked pump kick. Ethan Page hoisted up Hook for an Ego's Edge, but Hook countered with the red rum, forcing Page to tap. Hook scored a dominant win, perhaps his toughest challenge yet, said Excalibur. After the match, Hook added insult to injury by tossing Page through a table with a two-bone suplex. Every time that goes, it's like fucking, like, everybody marks out. And sorry about this, but it's so hot. I have to keep it up. 8-man tag match. JAS, Angela Parker, Matt Menard with Jake Hager, and the Acclaim Anthony Bowens and Max Caster with Daddy Ass versus the Infantry, Bobby Orlando and LSG. Bowens nailed LSG with thrust kicks. Bowens came down with a scissor me timbers. Menard and Parker knocked the Infantry out of the ring. Bowens used the anvil, the arrival, then Caster finished off with the mic drop for a pinfall victory. Every successful partnership just based on results, said Excalibur. After the match, Jake Hager leveled Daddy Ass with a cheap shot. Menard and Parker drilled Bowens with a double DDT. I think after the offer to join JAS has been rescinded, said Excalibur. Swerve Strickland was backstage with an announcement. Swerve, just because we lost soldiers doesn't mean we lost the war. No, we recruit, but there has been a merger. So Swerve has joined forces. You'll have to find out later on tonight. It's going to be a good one. Darby Allin versus Lee Moriarty with Big Bill. Darby used a side headlock takeover on Moriarty. Jungle Boy Jack Perry was shown backstage watching. Sammy Guevara was also scouting the match backstage. Darby went for a roll-up pin, but Lee managed to kick out. Lee Moriarty rammed Darby into the steel guardrail. Lee jumped at Darby, but Darby dodged it, and Lee landed on the top of the barricade. Big Bill blasted Darby with a massive boot as the ref had his back turned. Darby rallied back with a shotgun dropkick to Lee Moriarty. Darby climbed the top rope, but Moriarty swept out of Darby's legs. Darby crashed hard on the top rope. Lee picked up Darby and threw him onto the ropes again. Moriarty used a suplex on Darby Allin. Darby surprised Lee with a code red and then rocked out of the ring at Big Bill, neutralizing him. Darby scored the pin after a coffin drop to Lee. After the match, Swerve Strickland walked onto the ramp. He offered his hand to Darby, and Darby looked at him suspiciously. The Machine, Brian Cage, ambushed Darby Allin. Prince Nana strolled onto the ramp, and it became clear Swerve merged with the Embassy. TBS champion Jade Cargill versus Taya Valkyrie, and Taya Valkyrie had a face-to-face sit-down with RJ City. Taya Valkyrie will be the new TBS champion. And that title has become so irrelevant. We fucking sometimes we don't remember that there is a TBS champion. That title has been more fucking protected than fucking the AEW Women's Championship. And don't fucking at me because I'm right. RJ tried to act as mediator, but things didn't go well with either Cargill or Valkyrie backing down. Rampage main event. Anna J.S. versus House of Black, Julia Hart. They're making a comparison to Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is completely different than Julia Hart. I mean, they're both kind of the same situation, but Julia Hart is not as vicious as Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley can get into it. Julia Hart is just a valet. Rhea Ripley is a leader. Okay? That's all I'm going to go there. But I like Julia Hart. I like the whole gimmick of it. Anna Jay hit Julia from behind as Julia was making her entrance. Anna Jay stomped on Julia. Anna Jay whipped Julia's head first into the barricade. Julia showed her resiliency, ramming Anna Jay into the turnbuckles. Julia cracked Anna Jay with a thrust kick and a standing moonsault press. Anna attempted the Queenslayer, but Julia escaped. Julia Hart suplexed Anna Jay off the turnbuckles and then followed it up with a moonsault. Anna Jay tried for the Queenslayer again, but Julia moved forward and both wrestlers spilled out to the ring. As the ref was distracted, Julia Hart sprayed black mist into Anna Jay's eyes. Julia Hart rolled up Anna Jay and pinned her for the win. And that was end of Rampage. We have Battle of the Belts. First matchup was the AEW International Championship match. Freshly Squeezed Orange versus LFI Dralistico. Easier said than done, right? Dralistico drilled Orange with a knee strike and then a step-up Hurricane Rana. Orange dropkicked Dralistico, both hands on in his pocket. Dralistico flew out of the ring and landed on the top of Best Friends. LFI Best Friends brawled up the ramp to the back. Orange rocked Dralistico with a spinning DDT. Dralistico fired back with a code breaker on Cassidy for a near fall. Orange rallied back with a stunned on Millionaire. Dralistico used a springboard Hurricane Rana on Orange and then worked on Cassidy's arm. The crowd chanted, "Freshly squeezed, freshly squeezed." Countering the beach break, Dralistico walloped Orange with a Canadian Destroyer. Cassidy came back with an Orange punch right on target and pinned Dralistico. Orange Cassidy held his injured hand after the match. The House of Black appeared on the screen. Buddy Matthews said they have been gracious enough to put their titles on the line and then issued a challenge to Orange for his title for Wednesday. Lexi Nair interviewed Mark Briscoe backstage until Jay Lethal interrupted them. Lethal said, they've known each other for 20 years and wondered why they didn't just work together. Lethal and Briscoe agreed to work together, but Sanjay Dutt, Sadaman Singh, and Jeff Jarrett walked into the scene, laughing and congratulating Lethal. "I don't think that's what Mark had in mind," said Jim Ross. TBS Championship match. Jade Cargill versus Billy Starks. Blink and it was over. All right? It was blink, it was over. Stark slapped Jade in the face to start the match. Jade Cargill had no time for that and hit a stiff knee to Billy's ribs. Jay used a fallaway slam on Starks. Billy dodged a kick from Jade. Billy countered Jade with a Hurricane Rana. Billy caught Jade with another kick and rolled up Jade for a 2 count. Starks rallied Jade with a flatliner. Starks attempted a senton, but Jade got her knees up to counter. Jade rocked Billy with a pump kick and then flattened her with a jaded for the pin. Taya Valkyrie came to the ring, ducked a shot from Jade, then took Jade off her feet with a forearm. Taya tried for her finisher, but Jade escaped and retreated from the ring. Basically, they have the same finisher, basically. Battle of the Belts main event. Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship match. Lucha Brothers, Penta El Zero Miedo and Rey Fenix versus the Powerhouse Hobbs and QT Marshall, which Powerhouse Hobbs is the TNT champion. Ring of Honor, Caprice Coleman joined the broadcast booth for the match, which I like that, QT Marshall showed Penta El Zero Miedo, shoved Penta El Zero Miedo away, but then QT got a slap for his efforts. Hobbs tagged in and Hobbs ate several thrust kicks from Penta El Zero Miedo. Rey Fenix tagged in and quickly flew outside with a tope to QT. Phoenix jumped back into the ring, but Powerhouse Hobbs neutralized the attack. Hobbs and Marshall rammed into Penta El Zero Miedo with stereo shoulder blocks. QT is doing a great job of keeping Lucha Brothers grounded during this match, said Tony Schiavone. Penta El Zero Miedo hit a sling blade on QT and then took Hobbs down with the backstabber. Rey Fenix tagged in and scored a Rana on QT. Penta drilled QT with a DDT. Rey Fenix cracked Hobbs with a corkscrew kick. Hobbs charged at Rey Fenix and threw his body at him. QT rocked Phoenix with a cutter. Rey Fenix and Penta El Zero Miedo are using rapid-fire offense, kicking Hobbs from every direction. The Lucha Brothers were plowed through by Hobbs and lariats. Rey Fenix came back with a spinning kick to QT. The QT crew ganged up on Alex Abrahantes at ringside. Hobbs power bombed Penta on the apron. Phoenix countered and then rolled up QT Marshall for the pin. What a match, said Tony Schiavone. And Dynamite is going right to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Dynamite was coming from Milwaukee Panther Arena in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We start off with Darby Allin versus the Moguls. Hold on. Darby Allin versus the Mogul Embassy Swerve Strickland. Darby hits a stunner right out of the gate, followed up with a tope suicida. Darby climbed up to the top and jumped onto Swerve on the arena floor. Darby used his body as a weapon, said Taz. Outside the ring, Swerve scooped up Darby and slammed him. Swerve climbed the guardrail, but Darby drop kicked, knocking Swerve down. Darby charged Swerve and squashed him against the barricade with a coffin splash. Swerve swept out Darby's legs as Darby was on top of the steel ring steps. Swerve smashed the heel of his boot against Darby's jaw. Swerve pulled off Darby's belt and whipped him with it. Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti were shown backstage watching the match on a monitor. Darby tripped up Swerve and ground pounded him. Swerve dodged a coffin splash with a big leaping heel kick for a near fall. Darby's mouth was busted open. Swerve connected with another switch kick to Darby. Swerve used a double foot stop on Darby, who was dangling by his boots and the bottom rope. Swerve tweaked his foot when he landed. Darby saw an opening and removed Swerve's boot and then bit down on Swerve's injured foot. Darby grabbed a knee, but Swerve escaped. Swerve used Darby's momentum and hit a German suplex. Jungle Boy Jack Perry was seen watching the match on the monitor backstage. Darby nailed Swerve with a reverse hurricanrana off the apron and onto the arena floor. Darby smashed Swerve with a coffin drop. Prince Nana snuck down to the ring and put Swerve's foot on the rope to break up the pin. The Machine Brian Cage came down the ramp. Darby jumped back in the ring. Swerve was there with a kick and a big stomp off the top rope for a 2 count. Brian Cage swept out the legs of Darby. Referee Aubrey Edwards ejected Cage and Prince Nana from ringside. Darby finished off Swerve with the Last Supper, and that is twice in a row. Darby has submitted Swerve with the Last Supper. It may be Swerve's kryptonite, but it's got the job done, said Excalibur. Then we have, then the next level of it, we have MJF coming down. And MJF grabs the microphone and he says, Darby, 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 I'll give you credit where credit is due. That was an incredible match. I've got 2 words to say that will prove that my name is MJF. Those 2 words are headlock takeover. That's right, bud. I beat you with a maneuver that was so simple, and yet you think you could take the Triple B off of me. Darby, are you happy, Max? JF says, excuse me? Darby, I met you 6 years ago, and you said you were wrestling on national television, you'd be happy. My first year of AEW, I checked myself into therapy because I refused to be the guy who was happy on the outside but was dying on the inside. With the money I made from AEW, I bought my parents a house and helped my dad retire. And no, Sting is not my dad. He's just a best friend. He's just my best friend in this company. Max, this is just a 15-minute side. See, I'm not like you. I'm not going to lower my morals and be somebody in this world. If you got something to say, keep talking. MJF. If you know what you are, Darby Allin, you are an arrogant little boy. You really think you are special. You think you have to go through what people have been going through for decades to make it to the top of in this industry. Morals kill careers in this sport, and that's a fact. He's got a point. Think you're a gutless coward because you don't have the balls to sacrifice what needs to be sacrificed. You think I'm an idiot. I don't care because as long as this belt comes with me, that's all that matters. That's the difference between you and me and the other 2 pillars. I will do whatever it takes. I will do whatever it takes to leave a legacy in this sport. By the time I'm done, it'll say MJF, the greatest of all times. Your legacy will be Sting's bitch. All right, this is getting obnoxious, okay? I'm done with Tony Schiavone saying it's Sting. We know it's Sting. It's not fucking Genesis. Now, I said this to somebody on the phone last night. I had to fucking explain it. Now, Genesis, it's a double entendre, okay? Genesis was a pay-per-view in TNA. And it was also a musical group with Phil Collins. Please Google this for you youngins, okay? So I said that. And then if you go back, Sting was in TNA and whatnot, but Sting is a musical performer as well. So it was a double entendre, and the person who I was on the phone with actually fucking goddamn said, that's a fucking good one. I sometimes come out with a couple of good ones every now and then. Sting, Max, I want to know what's all this daddy daycare talk in the past weeks. It's all about, I don't see myself as daddy, as a daycare kind of guy. I think of myself as more like a cheerleader. Yeah, it looks like I've offended you. I'll stop now if you promise to stop with this Cody daycare stuff. Oh, I said Cody, didn't I? It hurts because you had a cheerleader in Cody, and Darby has one in me, and a young Sting had one in Ric Flair, which he honored last night. And I know somewhere fucking where he is, he was jerking himself off. I know I have a hunger for this world title. Showtime is almost over, but Showtime is just starting for Darby Allin. Max, mark my words, Darby Allin will become the AEW, I was about to say WWE, AEW World Heavyweight Champion. It's showtime. Darby, this fake plastic world is not making me alive. Max, I'm leaving the next AEW World Champion. MJF spat as Darby Allin and then jumped out of the ring. TNT Open Challenge. We had Powerhouse Hobbs versus the last real man, Silas Young. Hobbs blasted Silas with a spinebuster. Hobbs hoisted up Silas in a backbreaker and then planted Young. Powerhouse Hobbs pinned Silas. It was really, really quick and painless. Why did I make this a little too sweet? No pun intended either. QT and Hobbs started to pull Silas to the back. When Wardlow appeared on the screen, Wardlow demolished Hobbs outside the car outside the arena, hitting it with a pipe and then turning it upside down with a forklift. All you have to do is remember what Brock Lesnar did to Roman Reigns' SUV. There you go. Hobbs was about to powerbomb Silas through the table when Wardlow came out. Wardlow and Hobbs began to brawl. Wardlow powerbombed Aaron Solo off the stage through a table below. This was an excellent match. Excellent. Excellent. I was hoping that Matthews was going to win, but freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy versus the House of Black, Buddy Matthews. Orange drop kicked Buddy and followed with a tope to the outside. Orange attempted a diving crossbody, but Buddy Matthews caught him. Orange countered with a DDT and then blasted Buddy with a orange punch. Cassidy immediately grabbed his hand. Doc Samson came over to check on Orange Cassidy's hand. Buddy Matthews came over and stomped on Orange's injured hand. Buddy grabbed Orange's hand and smashed it on the top of the steel steps. Buddy hit a thrust kick on the ring apron. Orange served up a thrust kick of his own. Orange was looking for a DDT, but Buddy countered with a massive knee strike. Cassidy surprised Buddy with a beach break on the apron. Orange and Buddy exchanged strikes in the center of the ring. Buddy stomped on Orange's hand and then stood on it with all of his weight. Buddy Matthews cracked Orange with a knee strike. Orange fired back with a stun-dome millionaire. Both men battled to the top of the turnbuckle when Orange smashed Buddy with a DDT and then a diving DDT to Buddy for a near fall. Orange landed the orange punch right on target. Matthews dared Orange to hit him again. Orange tried, but Matthews blocked the orange punch. Buddy connected with a curb stop. Thank you, Mr. Seth freaking Rollins. Every time he uses it, I will always fucking say it. Orange managed to grab Buddy with the mousetrap and squeaked out a win. I'm telling you, if they would have continued with Buddy and Seth, that, like, oh my God, it was so good. It was so fucking good. Oh. And he's not bad to look at, fucking Buddy Matthews. Oh my God. I'm telling you, fucking Rhea Ripley is one lucky fucking bitch. She gets to go home to him and goes to work with Dominic. You know, I feel bad for the poor fucking girl. I mean, this girl's got it made in the shade here. A vignette aired of Luchasaurus and Christian Cage. Christian smirked and said, "Some things have changed." Renee Paquette backstage with Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends looking for a medical update. Best Friends challenge Aussie Open to a match this Friday on Rampage for the IWGP World Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. All Ego Ethan Page is in the ring with a microphone. Page, all right. Ethan Page and the firm have had a bit of a rough patch. I need answers. I need to know why. Matt Hardy hit me in the head with a title, and I need to know what that moron put in the contract. You still work for me. Isaiah Cassidy and Matt Hardy walk onto the ramp. Matt Hardy, you treated myself in private party like trash, so that's why I worked you into signing that contract. And it said, if Hook beat you, Matt and Private Party were no longer under the dominion of the firm. And I get to choose our next match, and when we win, we're no longer under contract to Stokely and the firm. Big Bill and Lee Moriarty blindsided Matt Hardy and Isaiah Cassidy. Hook's music hit. Hook used a Judah throw on Lee. Hook jumped in the ring, but he was outnumbered. Jeff Hardy music began to play. Jeff ran into the ring and took no prisoners. Ugh. The roof is going to blow up this place, said Taz. Jeff Hardy cleaned house of the firm and entered even up the playing field for Matt Hardy, Hook, and Isaiah Cassidy. He doesn't even belong there. He is so fresh off of his fucking sobriety. I give it 2 years and he's back. That's when Tony Schiavone should say, "I'm releasing you from your contract. You didn't hold your end of the bargain up," but he had to bring him back because he has to get money out of him. He's paying him now, so he has to get his money's worth. He's going to use them, and then after that, he's going to be done with them. And if he's not, then there's going to be some serious fucking issues. You're letting a fucking potential hazard person who could go in the ring possibly be under the influence and hurt somebody else. Idiot, Tony Khanitz. A message played from Kenny Omega. Omega, I speak to the Bucks almost every day. We promise that this problem you have with us, BCC, will be taken care of in the ring. But when you hurt Don Callis and left him in a pool of his own blood, I take that personally. And I get it. He's not most likable guy, but he's still family. And when you mess with someone's family, that's when you cross a line. So it's not going to be blood for blood, because that be music to your ears. It's going to be much worse. Little blood and guts, baby. And I'm going to give you my little snippet at the end of this. You're going to probably say, "Here we go again," or "She's at it again. She needs to be hosed down," whatnot. And you're going to be very fucking surprised after you hear what I have to go through. Because it's going to coincide with after this match. The Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli and Jon Moxley versus Brandon Cutler and Michael Nakazawa. The BCC pounced on Cutler and Nakazawa as they made their entrance. Claudio rammed Nakazawa's head into the apron repeatedly until Naka was busted wide open. This isn't a match, it's a mugging, said Excalibur. Nakazawa staggered Claudio with chops. Claudio stunned him down with a lariat. Claudio twirled Nakazawa around the ring with a giant swing. Moxley tagged in, as did Brandon Cutler. Moxley headbutted Cutler and then bit his nose. Mox decimated Cutler with a King Kong lariat and then the Death Rider. Nakazawa saved Cutler from the Bulldog choke. Mox kept stomping on Cutler until the ref stopped the match. Mox grabbed the mic and asked, "Where are the Young Bucks? Where's the Cowboy? Where's Don Callis? They're all at the hospital. They have glass jaws. They're not the elite. We put the E in the we put the elite in all elite wrestling." I would have loved him to said we put the E like WWE in all elite wrestling. That would have been fucking hilarious, honestly. That's just me, you know? That's just me. I like all this shit back and forth, the bantering. It's a little juvenile, but it spices things up. If you can't handle it, don't fucking go into the kitchen, people. Kenny Omega came down the ramp. Surprisingly, we thought he was at his house. The BCC turned their attention to Kenny, and then the Young Bucks jumped into the ring from behind and dishes out super kicks. The Bucks smashed Mox with a BTE trigger. Omega threw a gear case into the ring. Omega was going to use the gear case, but Matt Jackson stopped Omega and handed him a screwdriver instead. I think that's the only screwdriver he's ever going to get close enough to because he doesn't drink. Kenny was going to use the screwdriver, it seems, but BCC pulled Mox outside the ring to safety. Now, all right, I know Kenny Omega is gay. He would have to personally come out and say, "I'm not gay." All right, I know he's gay. And I know he's in a relationship with Kota Ibushi. I would be floored if that came out that it wasn't. Anyway, where did Kenny Omega decide to get abs? And then the other question is, why does he look so good in jeans? Okay. The next question is, when the fuck did the Bucks decide to turn fucking, what is it called? Serious. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see the fucking basketball playing, the fucking goddamn, goofiness of the elite. I need something to kick. We need an ass kicking elite. We need something that they're gonna fucking fuck you up and they're not gonna take names. They need to go back to the Bullet Club. They need to go back to the origins of the Bullet Club, where they were on fire. Kenny Omega needs to bring out that inner cleaner, the best bout machine, the 10-star match, whatever fucking Meltzer calls him. Because let me tell you something, that's attractive to me. I don't like the fucking goofiness. If I want to watch goofiness, I'll watch fucking goddamn NXT 7.0. You know what I mean? But yeah, give me Kenny, give me the Bucks. Absolutely. And if they're gonna add Paige and I think this time it's gonna be 4 if I'm not mistaken. It could be possibly 5. I don't know. But yeah, give me blood and guts, definitely. Rio and Sky Blue versus the Outcasts, Ruby Soho and Tony Storm. Tony Storm jumped on Blue Sky, but Blue brought down Storm. Blue tagged in Rio. Ruby tagged in and tried to trip on Rio, but Rio avoided it. Rio dropkicked Ruby Soho. Rio climbed to the top and hit a crossbody press down onto the Outcast on the arena floor. Sky Blue had momentum and used a leaping crossbody press on Tony. Ruby was there to break up the pin attempt. Tony Storm threw Sky with a German suplex and then a hip attack. After the Storm Zero on Sky, Tony pinned Sky Blue. Sorry. Riho jumped back into the fray, but numbers were against her. The Outcast spray painted Riho and then power slammed her. AEW Women's World Champion Jamie Hayter sprinted to the ring to help Riho. The Outcast swarmed Hayter. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, ran down and cleaned house on the Outcast. Other members of the Outcast pulled Saraya out of the ring. Now in the main event, we have first time ever Keith Lee, Limitless Keith Lee versus Chris Jericho. Jericho dropped Keith Lee, but Keith Lee didn't budge. Lee shoved Jericho down and then chopped at Jericho. Jericho fought out of the corner with chops, but Lee answered with a massive overhead chop. Jericho went down in a heap. Keith Lee splashed Jericho in the turnbuckles. Keith Lee scoop slammed Jericho. Garcia jumped on the apron and distracted Keith Lee. Jericho connected with a springboard dropkick. Jericho dropkicked Lee off the turnbuckles and followed up with a lion salt. Keith Lee leveled Jericho with a lariat and then splashed Jericho in the corner. Garcia grabbed Keith Lee's boot. Jericho came in for a lariat, but Lee picked up Jericho with a bear hug. Bear claw. I had to, sorry. Jericho escaped, but Keith Lee pounced Jericho. Keith Lee went for a moonsault press, but Jericho raised his knee to counter. Keith Lee chokeslammed Jericho for a near fall. Jericho escaped a powerbomb attempt from Keith Lee and locked in the walls of Jericho. Keith Lee grabbed the bottom rope to force the ref to break the hold. Keith Lee hurled Jericho across the ring, a la Adam Cole. Jericho tried to distract Keith Lee, and Lee threw Garcia into the ring. Keith Lee steamrolled both of them. Keith Lee powerbombed Jericho. Garcia distracted the ref, and Swerve Strickland rocked Keith Lee with a foreign object. Out of nowhere, Jericho capitalized and pinned Keith Lee. After the match, Adam Cole came down to the ring and checked on Keith Lee. Adam Cole and Keith Lee walked through to the back together, never once making eye contact with Jericho. And that was the end of it. They touched on the whole thing with Keith Lee and Adam Cole. And I'm glad that they did that. But Jesus Christ, I keep thinking that he's going to fucking take him and throw him towards the end of the opposite end of the arena. You know what I mean? So they're going to be the Peterson's Event Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania next Wednesday. And that is the end of AEW coverage. Now we're going to go to SmackDown from last week. And I want to thank Ringside News for giving me all the run-throughs. I really appreciate it. They are a big help on this. SmackDown after WrestleMania. SmackDown is the first since WrestleMania last weekend, and it will be featuring Triple H live as he's set to address the WWE Universe. In addition, Triple H appearance, WWE has promoted the following matches: Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar. Hold on, I got a text from a family member. Versus Dominic Mysterio and Damian Priest. Imperium versus the Brawling Brutes. Sami Zayn versus Jey Uso. It should be interesting to see how things play out on SmackDown. The Brawling Brutes versus Imperium. Our opening six-man match kicks off with Vinci and Butch in a lockup. Vinci gets a takedown and then off a drop bomb. Butch hits a lariat. Butch tags in Holland in the match and Vinci hits a springboard crossbody from the middle rope before tagging Kaiser in the match. Kaiser hits a stomp to the head and covers for a 2. Butch tags back in and Kaiser tags Vinci back in. Butch goes up top, but Gunther distracts the ref, allowing Kaiser to grab Butch long enough for Vinci to grab Butch off the top rope and hit a delayed vertical suplex. The match continues live with Gunther after the commercial break, hitting a kick to the back of Butch's head. Vinci tags in and goes for a German suplex, but Butch flips out and lands on his feet and tags in Holland as Kaiser tags back in. Holland hits a belly-to-belly suplex. Kaiser hits an uppercut and goes to lift Holland, but Holland counters and hits an Alabama slam. Gunther tags in and hits a big chop to Holland, and Gunther takes out Sheamus on the apron with a cheap shot. Gunther hits a power bomb and covers Holland, but Butch runs to break it up at 2. Gunther locks in Holland in the Boston Crab. Sheamus comes back on the apron, and Holland is able to crawl over and tag Sheamus in. Sheamus hits Gunther with a lariat and then a power slam. Sheamus hits 10 beats of the Bataran, actually hitting only 10 this time. Gunther dodges the bro kick and hits a German suplex. Gunther goes for a powerbomb, but Sheamus counters and hits white noise. Vinci tags in, and after the chaos breaks out with Butch and Kaiser outside, Sheamus hits a running knee and then a bro kick. Sheamus covers Vinci for a 3 count. Winners, Brawling Brutes. A little slow, my tablet. We go to commercial break. We have Ricochet versus Ivar. During the entrances, Michael Cole on commentary informs that Adam Pearce has banned both wrestling tag team partners from ringside. The match begins with Ricochet ducking a lariat and hitting a Hurricane Rana. Ivar rolls out of the ring. Ricochet goes for a tope suicida, but Ivar catches Ricochet by the throat and slams him off the ring apron before hitting a running splash. Back in the ring, Ivar places Ricochet on the top rope. Ricochet gets free with a kick to the head. Ricochet goes for a sunset flip, but Ivar stays on his feet. Ricochet flips out of a suplex attempt and hits a drop kick. Ricochet lifts Ivar for a moment, but falls under the weight, and Ivar hits a spin kick and covers for a 2. Ivar goes to the top of the rope, but Ricochet turns up and hits with a right hand. Ivar knocks Ricochet down to the ring, but Ricochet springs back up and hits a Hurricane Rana. Ricochet goes back up top and hits a shooting star press. Ricochet covers for the 3, and the winner is Ricochet. We go to commercial. We come back. We have Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya and Shotzi. The match begins with Rodriguez going for a powerbomb, but Natalya using the ropes to send Rodriguez over the top. Shotzi runs in and hits a tope suicida. Back in the ring, Shotzi hits a running knee. Rodriguez lifts up Shotzi and carries her to the corner to tag in Morgan, who hits a diving stop off the top rope. Natalya tags in and hits Morgan with a German suplex and follows with a discus lariat. Shotzi tags in and Natalya runs to hit the heart attack, but Rodriguez runs in and hits a shoulder tackle to Natalya. Morgan hits Shotzi with a Oblivion, and Morgan covers Shotzi for the 3. Winners Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. They were going to win regardless. We come back from commercial breaks. SmackDown returns with the King of Kings, Triple H, making his way out to the ring. Triple H says there's nothing in the world like WrestleMania. Their hearts are broken and dreams were made. Triple H says that in attendance and viewership, WrestleMania broke every WWE record imaginable. Triple H says that WrestleMania is behind and now he is here to talk about the future. Triple H says that in a few weeks it's time for the WWE draft. This year, the draft will be bigger than ever, with every single superstar eligible. Triple H promises that this year's draft will be truly a game changer. Triple H then introduces the crowd to the new SmackDown Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley, who comes out to the ring with the rest of Judgment Day. Ripley says that April 1st, 2023 will go down in history as the night sports entertainment changed forever. Rhea Ripley demands the crowd rises for the biggest star and greatest champion of all in all of WWE. Finn Balor gets on the mic to mention Edge. That Edge is nowhere to be seen yet. Balor is still standing. Dominic Mysterio then grabs the mic and the crowd boos him so loud that Dominic can't even be heard, and it's glorious. Eventually, Dominic is able to say that WrestleMania he held back because he couldn't actually hurt his father, but he cannot say the same for Ray. Dominic says that he hated the hatred that Ray says that the hatred in Ray's eyes at WrestleMania. Damian Priest then calls out Bad Bunny. He asks Bad Bunny for forgiveness because he forgives Bad Bunny for making him what he had to do on Monday night. Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar versus Dominic Mysterio and Damian Priest. The match begins with Rey and Priest in the ring. Priest hits a big lariat in the corner. Priest tags in Dominic, and Dominic hits Mysterio with a series of strikes as Priest holds Rey back. Dominic hits a snap suplex and covers for a 2. Rey flips out of the suplex and tags in Escobar. Escobar hits a flying crossbody, and Rey and Escobar hit double tope suicidas to Dominic and Priest. Back from the commercial break, Priest hitting a power slam to Escobar. Dominic tags in, and Dominic looks Escobar locks Escobar in a front face lock. Escobar powers to his feet and tags in Rey. Rey hits Dominic with a Hurricane Rana. Dominic hits a sunset flip, but Rey gets to his feet and hits a drop kick. Rey goes for a 619, but Ripley pulls Dominic out of the way. Thank God. Vegas. I got Vegas on the brain. Vega takes out Ripley with a Hurricane Rana. Priest makes a blind tag, and Escobar tags in. Priest sneaks up and hits a power slam. Priest covers for a 3, and Judgment Day walks out the winners. And Vega is in some serious trouble with Mommy. She's going to squash her like she's always done. And there's a report that Rey is trying to do a mask versus hair, so he won last time. This is going to be his retirement match. His son is going to retire him. We come back from commercial break. Sammy meets Jay Uso backstage. Zayn tells Jay that he has a way out of this. Zayn says everything he said would happen has happened. Zayn and Jay are interrupted by a loud crashing sound. Zayn runs, and Kevin's on the floor with an apparent solo attack. WWE officials rush to Owen's medical attention as Jay heads to the ring. Sami Zayn versus Jey Uso. This is after the break. Our main event begins with a lockup. Jay attacks Zayn to cover to the corner, and the ref steps in to break it up. Jay slaps Zayn across the face. Jay hits a shoulder tackle, and Zayn responds by hitting a lariat and to send Jay over the top rope. As Zayn goes through a springboard off the ropes, he sees Solo Sikoa walk down the ramp, and Zayn stops where he is at. We come back from commercial break. Our main event continues with Zayn jumping up top to meet Jay on the top rope, and Zayn hits a superplex. Jay hits a super kick and then an enziguri. Zayn dives off the top rope into a super kick from Jay. Jay screams at Zayn in the corner, and Zayn pops up and hits an exploder suplex. Zayn goes for a haluva kick, but Jay ducks and gets a roll up for a 2. Zayn hits a blue thunder bomb and off the cover for a 2 count. Zayn goes back to the top rope, but Jay hits an uppercut and climbs up top. Jay hits a headbutt to knock Zayn to the apron. The ref drags Jay away from the top rope off the distraction. Sola hits a Samoan spike. Jay takes advantage for the cover for a 3. Jay Uso picks up the win. After the bell, Sequoia continues to beat down Zayn as Jay Uso looks on from the corner. Sequoia goes for another Samoan spike, but Jay holds back Sequoia's arms. Sequoia and Jay stare down intensely before Jay hits a super kick and tells Sequoia to get a chair. Sequoia goes to get a chair as the returning Riddle goes down to the ring to make the save. Riddle clears the ring of Sequoia and Jay. SmackDown goes off the air with Zayn and Riddle standing tall in the ring together. And that's the end of SmackDown. On to Monday Night Raw, and then I'm going to get you out of here because I'm dying right now. It is very, very, very hot today. Raw promises to be an interesting night as we will hear from Cody Rhodes 1 week after his brutal assault at the hands of Brock Lesnar. The women's tag team titles are on the line tonight as WWE Hall of Famer Lita and Becky Lynch defend against Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. The updated match card for the show is follows: Cody Rhodes promo and the women's tag team title. There was not much else. Rey Mysterio comes out to the ring. He gets on the mic and says it's been a crazy year for him. He says he has a lot of ups and downs, and last week should have been a dream come true. He competed in the biggest WrestleMania match of all time, and said he ended up facing his own son. Dominic comes out and asks Rey to keep his name out of his mouth. He says Rey makes things about himself. He claims Rey never cared about him, and that's why he's better off with his real family, the Judgment Day. I swear to God, every time he fucking talks or he has his facial feature, I want to take his fucking head and take it and put my hands and go, and I don't give a shit. I'm 40 years old. I don't care. I know I'm a cougar, so fuck off, people. Dominic says Bad Bunny going through a table was music to his ears. He says Bad Bunny better stick his nose out of Judgment Day business. Rey says that Bad Bunny informed him that he will be back. Dominic says he should worry about what Judgment Day is going to do to him. Rey asks him to man up. He asks Dominic to step in the ring for a WrestleMania rematch. Dominic says he doesn't want to fight his own father, but he knows who will. Finn Balor comes out, and we have that. And I'm going to tell you, Finn Balor is a fucking beast. 14 staples and a torn calf muscle. This guy needs to get paid big time his next contract. The match begins with Finn attack Rey in the corner. Rey fights back and attacks Finn in the corner with Rey with a Hurricane Rana. Balor with a reverse DDT, cover 1-2 kick out. Finn stomps Rey in the chest. Balor knocks down Rey with a back elbow, cover 1-2 kick out. Finn goes to work on Rey. Rey fights back with a Hurricane Rana, sending Balor outside the ring. He then dives onto Balor. We come back from a commercial break. Rey sends sent to the apron and hits a senton and a crossbody. Cover 1-2 kick out. Finn with a clothesline to Ray. He hits a drop kick and goes to the top rope but is stopped. Ray with headbutts to Ray. He hits the Hurricane Rana. Cover 1-2 kick out. Ray hits the 619 and goes for a splash, but Balor gets his knees up. Roll up. 1-2 kick out. Ray is sent to the turnbuckle. Finn attacks him in the corner. Dominic goes to hit Ray, but is knocked down. Ray dives onto Balor, and Dominic hits Ray with a chain, and Finn distracts the referee. Balor goes and hits the coup de grace for the win. And there was a part I seen on Twitter that he goes, "This is for this is for Damien. This is for Dominic. This is for," and then Dominic says, "This is for Mummy, and this is for Rhea," and so on and so forth. I love when he says Mummy. Oh my God. Oh, I've never slept with a guy that's younger than me. Oh my God, I'm gonna need to satisfy this in some way. I've done only older guys. I'm more attracted to that, but After the match, they replayed the video earlier that shows Otis being interviewed by Kathy. They are interrupted by screams. The camera shows Lita, WWE Hall of Famer Lita, down on the ground looking hurt. Come back from a commercial break. Becky Lynch is interviewed backstage and she doesn't know who attacked her. She says she promised a tag team title match and she was about to wrestle alone, but WWE Hall of Famer Trish Stratus was able to substitute. And Adam Pearce made it official, the whole 9. Women's tag team title match. Trish Stratus, WWE Hall of Famer, and Becky Lynch versus Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. Trish Stratus comes out, Becky, and they all go to the ring. The match begins with Becky and Raquel. Lynch goes for a crossbody but is caught and slammed into the turnbuckles. Rodriguez tags out and Liv hits an enziguri. Cover 1-2 kick out. Becky with a super kick to Liv. Liv with a knee to the face and a drop kick. She then hits a double stomp. Cover 1-2 kick out. Lynch tags out. Trish slams Liv and Lynch hits a drop kick. Cover 1-2 kick out. Commercial break. Come back. Trish goes to work on Liv. Both women take out each other. Both women tag out. Rodriguez knocks down Lynch and hits a fall-away slam. She then hits a twisting senton. Cover 1-2 kick out. Lynch sent to the apron. She climbs to the top rope and hits a missile drop kick. Cover 1-2 kick out. Lynch tags out and they both go for suplexes, but she overpowers them. Trish with a Hurricane Rana. Cover 1-2 kick out. Trish tags out and they double team her. Raquel with a backbreaker. She tags in Liv and hits a tornado DDT. Cover 1-2 kick out. Lynch exchanges tags with her partner and they go for a double team suplex, but Raquel power bombs them. Both women exchange strikes and Liv is knocked down. Trish crashes onto Morgan. Cover 1-2 kick out. Lynch goes for the disarmer, but Raquel breaks it up. Trish with a Stratusfaction. Lynch hits the manhandle slam. Cover 1-2. Raquel breaks it up. Lynch tags out. Trish goes for a chick kick, but Liv rolls her up for the win. And we have new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. After the match, basically, we already knew what was going to happen. Trish attacks Becky from behind with a chick kick. Kathy Kelly interviews Paul Heyman, who says that he could provide insight into why Brock Lesnar attacked Cody. He says Kevin has a problem because Sammy isn't there. He then says Sammy and Riddle know not to mess with Solo Sikoa. He says Owens is there with no friends in his corner. He then says he is here. Solo is here. The Usos are here. They finished up by saying they're going to solve the Kevin Owens problem. Come back from commercial break. Byron tries to interview Trish. She doesn't want to have no part of it. Dakota Kai is backstage. She is nervous. Bayley comes out and says that she spoke to about the tag team titles, but she says they have a 6-woman tag match, and if she wins, she will get a title match. Io's upset and says it should be one of them. Bayley says she will go back and speak to Pearson herself about it. Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed versus Bronson Reed. The match begins with Lashley attacks Reed in the corner. Lashley with a clothesline. Lashley hung up on the top rope. Reed kicks Lashley in the face and sends him to the outside. He then hits the shoulder tackle. Come back from commercial break. Reed knocks down Lashley. Reed attacks Lashley in the corner. Lashley fights back and hits a neck breaker. He hits a suplex and goes for the hurt lock, but Reed blocks it. He falls back on Lashley. Cover 1-2 kick out. Reed climbs to the top rope, but stopped. Reed dives onto Lashley. Lashley hits a spine buster. He locks in the hurt lock, but Reed sends him out of the ring. Lashley with a double clothesline. Lashley picks up Reed, but escapes and sends Lashley into the post. As the referee counts to 10, both men are counted out. Perfect ending. Cody is heading to the ring. We come back from commercial break. He heads out to the ring, and he says he blamed himself for the loss, and he apologized for it. Cody says wins and losses matter. He says that Heyman says if he's got to challenge for the title, he must earn it. He says he diminishes his entire career, and he is it. He says that the whole new wrinkle called Brock Lesnar, he says what was more embarrassing was offering up his partnership to Brock, and he was attacked. He says Brock was unhappy with his spot at WrestleMania, which is total BS. I mean, look back at WrestleMania 35. Point taken, okay? So don't go give me that bullshit. He says that theory is Brock is uncertain about him, and the change he brought to the WWE. He says when Brock looks in the mirror, he sees a predator. He says if Brock sees him as a victim, he said he is scared of Brock Lesnar, and he says he will be crazy not to be afraid of Lesnar, but he still wants to fight him. He wants to make sure that when Brock Lesnar looks in the mirror, he will see prey. He said it could be anywhere, anytime, any place, but with Lesnar is not here in Seattle. He could challenge Brock Lesnar at Backlash. I'm not saying and diminishing WrestleMania. Alpha Academy versus the Usos. The match begins with Otis and Jey Uso. Jey goes for a sunset flip, but Otis mocks him. He tags out and they double team him. Jimmy tags in and attacks Gable. Gable locks in an armbar. He then hits a flying clothesline. Gable is toying with Jimmy Uso. Jey tags in and attacks Gable. We come back from commercial break. Jimmy attacks Gable. Gable with an exploder suplex. He tags out and Otis attacks the Usos and body slams Jimmy. Otis with a power slam to both Usos. Cover 1-2 kick out. Otis hits a caterpillar. He tags out and double teams him. Cover 1-2. Jey makes the save. Otis sent outside. Jey and Jimmy dive onto him. They super kick him. Gable with a moonsault. He hits a diving headbutt. Cover 1-2 kick out. Jey tags in and they super kick Gable and hit the 1D for the win. Winner, the Usos. Io Sky versus Piper Niven versus Mia Yim Minchin. The match begins with Minchin kicks Piper. Io with a missile dropkick to Piper. Minchin with a flapjack to Io. Minchin hits a suicide dive on Piper. Io hits a moonsault on both of them. Piper come back from commercial. Piper body slams Mitchin. She slams Io onto Mitchin and hits a crossbody. Cover 1-2 kick out. Mitchin climbs onto the top rope, but Io hits a hurricanrana. She hits a missile drop kick on Niven. Cover 1-2 kick out. Mitchin kicks Io and hits a dragon suplex. Niven with a elbow drop on Io. Mitchin hits eat to feet. Cover 1-2. Io Sky hits a moonsault and hits Mitchin. Winner, Io Sky. Byron interviews Kevin Owens, who says he knows to be a wise person, but he leads with his emotions. His heart is telling him he should beat Sequoia. He then says all he cares about is revenge. Last match, Kevin Owens versus Solo Sequoia. The match starts with both men brawl in the ring. Solo targets the injured knee. He goes to work on Owens. Sequoia knocks down Owens. Kevin goes to the outside and takes out Jay. He sends Sequoia into the steel steps. He sends him into the ring and hits a senton. Cover 1-2 kick out. Solo with a hip attack. We come back from commercial break. Solo continues to work the leg of Owens. Kevin hits a DDT. Both men exchange strikes. Owens with a super kick. He then goes for a cannonball, but his leg gave out. So Sequoia hits a super kick. Cover 1-2 kick out. He sets up Owens in the corner. Owens knocks him down and hits a frog splash. Cover 1-2 kick out. Owens goes for a stunner, but Sequoia hits a Samoan drop. He climbs to the top rope, but is stopped by Owens. Owens throws Solo off the top rope. He climbs the top rope. Jimmy distracts him. He super kicks Jay Uso. He climbs to the top rope and hits a swanton bomb. Cover 1-2 kick out. He hits a pop-up power bomb. The referee distracted by Jimmy Uso. Jay hits a super kick and Solo super kicks Owens before hitting the Samoan spike. Winner Solo Sequoia. Now, Raw was in Seattle. There was a lot of travel issues, so there was a lot of reruns. Vince wasn't there. Yes. So a lot of people were in transit, but they wouldn't have been able to get there regardless. So after the match, the Usos attack Owens. Riddle and Zayn come out running Owens aid. They were brawled outside, take out the Usos and Sequoia. Owens hits a stunner to Jimmy Uso, and that is the end of that. And that is the end of me. I am going to go and enjoy the rest of my weekend. You will see me tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. And I just got a notification that there's going to be a Saturday show for AEW. That means they're going to be splitting the roster. And I will be covering more of that when we come back here for maybe Ring of Honor. Because that would be a good thing to do Ring of Honor. And you can get all that information on Saturday at 8 a.m. Please do me a favor while you are here. Go check out the rest of my content that was WrestleMania related and whatnot. Please share, and subscribe to my channel. Turn on the bell for all notifications so when I post, you know about it. Do me a favor also, please go check out my social media. Twitter, Instagram are both verified blue check marks. Please also go check me out on TikTok, Mel'S Mat Chat. All three of those are the same. I just switched Snapchat to my professional, and Facebook is now professional. So I'm more legit. So go check me out on that. I will be back here tomorrow morning for Ring of Honor TV. Please also go check out harrys.com for all your shaving essentials and toiletry essentials. Please go check out Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com. Please go check out Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com. Check out Death Wish at deathwishcoffee.com. Check out their new upcoming flavor, Vicious Vanilla. Go check out HOG Wrestling at hogwrestling.net. They have 2 events coming up. Hopefully they'll be on Fight TV. But if you're lucky enough to get tickets, go check them out on hogwrestling.net. Have a great, great weekend, and I'm praying, I can't wait till tomorrow, Saturday, for cooler weather. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. And I'll be right back after that for episode 287. All right? Have a great, great weekend. I love you all, and I'll check you out tomorrow for Ring of Honor TV. Until then, see you soon. Bye.